Hi, and welcome back to Soul Damn Good. Today I'm going to be doing a birth chart reading for Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus is a famous woman who has been in the limelight for over 2 decades at this point. She got her start as Hannah Montana on the Disney Channel, and before that, her father, Billy Ray Cyrus, was a popular country music star back in the 90s. So since then, she's gone on to create lots of music, and she's always kind of been famous since Hannah Montana. She's had a lot of famous relationships that we can talk about in a little bit, but really, she's someone that draws the eye. She's someone who's good at being famous and who's good at being in the spotlight. She's very charismatic, and I wanted to take a look at her birth chart and her placements so we can kind of talk about why she is the way she is. We've got her birth time, which was in Nashville, Tennessee, is where she was born on the 23rd of November, 1992 at 4:19 p.m. So close to 4:20 p.m. I know that Miley was famous for a while, kind of was made fun of for her like appropriating weed culture. Anyway, that's just kind of funny that she was almost born at 4:20. I think she's since said that she's gotten sober. But anyway, let's dive into her chart. I'm pretty confident that this is her actual birth chart. I found online she had a double A rating for the time. That's listed, meaning that it's very likely that this is her birth chart. So we'll get started. She is a Taurus ascendant, so 28 degrees of Taurus. She is a Scorpio moon right there across from her ascendant. And she is a 1 degree Sagittarius sun. So, first and foremost, Miley is quite a beautiful woman, and so her having Taurus on the ascendant makes sense for that, as Taurus is ruled by Venus. Venus, the ruler of her first house, her chart ruler is up here in the sign of Capricorn in the ninth house. So, very beautiful young woman. Her Venus, her chart ruler, is squaring off to Jupiter. Now, this is a day chart, so Jupiter is her major benefic. Squaring off to her Venus is quite interesting. Let's see. Jupiter. So Jupiter is over here in her sixth house of day-to-day work. Now we know as a child she had to work a lot. So having Jupiter in the sixth house means lots of work, but it can also mean having fun in the workplace. It can mean an expansive workplace, colleagues who bring about good luck. Jupiter to square Venus means someone who definitely wants to have a lot of fun. Her having Venus in the ninth house makes me think she's probably quite philosophical, fun-loving, and a little bit quirky here with the Uranus conjunct Venus. It's quirky in who she loves. So also there can be some bisexuality when Venus is conjunct to Uranus. Even in the traditional sign of Capricorn, the earthy traditional sign of Capricorn. So let's keep going here with Miss Miley. So her moon is directly opposite her ascendant sign, happening in the seventh house. Moon in the seventh house is someone who always needs to have a partner. And I think that we've seen throughout Miley's dating history that she's generally, she's generally always with a boyfriend or a girlfriend. She's always partnered up. So having your moon in Scorpio gives you a very intense love language, wanting to kind of be all consuming in your relationships, especially there in that seventh house. And then you have conjunction to Pluto, which makes it even more intense. I would believe that if you really got to know Miley, she seems very fun and outgoing and life of the party on the outside, but I would suspect based on her birth chart that she is very intense, very emotional, likes to form deep connections and deep bonds with people in her life. She's also got a beautiful trine, so this Mercury, her mind, Moon, her emotions, and Pluto, her deep intensity, her raw power, are all very connected in that seventh house of relationships. out of sign conjunction here with her sun. So she does have this tight-knit group of planets that represent her personality, her depth of feeling, all trine to her Mars in Cancer. Now, Moon trine Mars is beautiful. Actions are aligned with emotions. Mercury trine Mars, she's very charismatic. Someone whose way of speaking and way of expressing themselves is in alignment with what they want in life, what they would like to manifest. And that can just make for a charming person with that Mars trine Mercury. Miley having Mars in the third house makes her very persuasive communicator, someone who can get what she wants just by talking to them. And it seems like, yes, she'd probably be able to persuade anyone into doing whatever she wants for them. And that's in a good way. That's with the trine aspect here. People want to do things for Miley. People want to like her. Yes, she's got down here at the bottom of her chart, she does have Chiron sitting by itself, not making any aspects. Chiron in the fourth house, so her deepest wound is going to come from family. In the sign of Leo, meaning that something to do likely with the fame that her fame, maybe her father's fame or her family's fame. At this point, all the Cyruses are at some level of famous. Depending on who you are, you might know all of her siblings' names. You might know her younger sister Noah, who is a musical artist and who has had some songs on the chart. You might know her mom just through the media. And you probably know that her dad is also famous. All that to say, Chiron, the wound, is in the family unit in that fourth house in the sign of fame. So there could have been competition growing up between siblings, between child and parent relationships. That is where their wound comes from for Miley. Now, what else? What else? Going back to her Jupiter in the sixth house, meaning she had to work a lot, or she does work a lot. It's in the sign of Libra, talking about balance. So even though she worked a lot, there was a way for her to feel balanced. And I do think that's because she kept in tune with her inner child, and she, no matter what, she wanted to have fun wherever she was with that Jupiter square to Venus, Jupiter square Uranus. No matter how hard they tried to make her fit into the schedule or the cookie cutter image, she was always kind of on the verge of breaking out. I would also say she didn't take her job too seriously. She does have Jupiter trine Saturn, and Jupiter trine her midheaven. Wow, so that makes her very lucky in career, makes her very disciplined as well. But yeah, not so strict that she wasn't able to have fun is what I'm seeing here in her chart. North Node in the 8th house, Sagittarius. I wouldn't be surprised if Miley wanted to become like a religious or spiritual person, whether that just be out of the limelight or maybe she would like to share her spiritual beliefs at some point. I think her North Node here in Gemini, she might have come from in the second house, her past or her past life or her past in this life, depending on what you believe, was very centered around material things and gossip, humanly kind of trivial pursuits. So now moving into Sagittarius in the 8th house, I can see her wanting to dive deeper as she grows older, dive deeper into spirituality, dive deeper into religion, and letting go of some of those material possessions and go into the taboo topics of spirituality and the occult. Her sun is here in the 8th house as well, so that can show some issues with the father, as the father represents, or the sun represents the father, and then the 8th house is kind of like I said, taboo, dark. It's not an easy house to have your sun in. I'll put it that way. But I don't want to go too in depth here for a first impressions video. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here. Please let me know what you think. Leave me a comment below. Subscribe to my channel. Check out my TikTok. All that good stuff. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day. Goodbye.